Hi, ladies. What brings you in today?
Hello. Well, I'm going through the dilemma that I feel like I want to get a divorce from my husband
Mm,
because we've been married for 13 years.
okay.
But our marriage was great before we had kids.
Mm.
You know, we were always together, we would always do things together. But after we had kids, it's like we became part of two different worlds.
Okay.
Like I belong to a world with family oriented and with my kids and doing things with my kids, and he's always busy with his friends, with his he's a musician, so he plays at a group, so with his band, with church, anything he can do not to be in the house with me and the kids.
So it sounds like he hides behind his music instead of coming to spend time with you and your kids. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, exactly. He does anything he can. He's so busy all the time, and like in order for him to be with us, I have to check his agenda, like his schedule, like his world and his life comes first before us.
So you have to check his agenda
Mm-hmm.
in order to make time for you all as a family.
Exactly.
Hmm.
How painful is that? It's unbelievable. And I've been dealing with that for the past 5 years since we had kids. Because before we had kids, it was all about him. Like his agenda, I would just go with his agenda wherever he wanted to go, whatever he wanted to do, wherever he wanted to be. But now that I have kids, it's different. It's about my kids. It's about the kids, what they need, like their routine, like kids activities and stuff like that. That's my priority. But before he was my priority, and it's just how the two worlds clash.
Right, right. So you think that his agenda hasn't changed at all?
Oh no, he goes on like if he didn't have kids, but mine did. My life changed. My kids comes first, and my world evolved around my kids, especially when they're so small.
Right, right.
I feel like time goes by so fast, and kids grow up so fast, and before we
Sure.
know it, they're gonna be gone. So we need to spend the most time we can with them. But he doesn't see it that way.
And how long were you all together for before you had kids?
8 years.
So you were together for 8 years plus 5 with the kids, so in total.
13, yeah, 13 and a half.
And from what you were saying earlier, it was all about his agenda. It was never really geared towards yours when you guys were together before kids. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's a musician, so I think being a musician comes in a package with being selfish and being the center of attention. So it was all about him, and since I was in love, I didn't mind, like I just went with it. And he was the star of at church, and he was the star of my life, but not anymore.
So your love went from his to your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the beginning it did, and then as the kids grew up a little bit, I learned how to balance those loves. They're different loves. The
Right.
love you have for your husband and the love you have for your kids. But I won't negotiate the agenda and the time with my kids. I won't do that. Like I won't just leave my kids with whoever, or even with my parents, to be with them. Because I'm missing my kids' life, where I feel like I shouldn't have, because I was with them for so many years. It's not like we got married and then boom, a year I was pregnant. We didn't
Right.
have time to spend with each other and do things. We did things. We were always together 24/7. I supported him in his ministry. We went on vacations, but now is the time to have a family and to be there for our kids.
When was it time for you though?
Yeah, there was never time for me.
There was never time for you.
No. That's why I'm thinking about getting a divorce, to have time for me. Because then I'll be in control of my life, and I'll make time for me, for my kids and for me. But right now, it's time for him and my kids. There's no me.
So there's no you.
No, I don't. Who's gonna take care of me? Who's gonna think about me? Nobody. He doesn't. He thinks
So it sounds like this decision of this transition through your life has been going through your mind for quite a while.
Yes. I think there's no connection between us anymore because of the constant battle that we have between his world of his ministry and his busy life and his selfish self,
Right.
and me with the kids. I already lost that battle. He's not going to change. He's not going to make time. He's not going to see things differently. So I've already had that clear in my mind. But the part that I still struggle with, it's like, I've been married for 13 years. He's the father of my 2 children. He's the only man that I've had in my life. Like, how is my life gonna be post the divorce,
So you're struggling with the thought of him not being in your life, or you're struggling with the thought of him, of you being by yourself in your life?
Yeah, with the thought of me being by myself. Even though I consider myself as a strong woman and a mom, it's just, it's hard being on your own. Not him being in my life, because I don't feel he's in my life right now. I'm like a single mom, but with him, like just to cook and take care of him, then I'm not single. But for everything else, I know I've gone everywhere by myself with the kids.
Right.
To the beach, to birthday parties, to the zoo, to libraries, everywhere.
Sounds like the kids have been the highlight of your life, that you're living for your kids, and that because you have this small amount of time that you're giving to him, you feel that, you should actually be giving it to yourself instead, because he's not doing anything for you guys. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's correct. And sometimes I feel, or I hear from him, he gets jealous because of the kids.
Really?
Because, the posture that I've come about, that's just my self-defense. It's like, if you don't give me time and you don't care about me, I'm not gonna give you my time or my care either. So I give it to my kids instead. And he knows that. So he gets jealous to the point that he counts the kisses that I give to the kids. Oh, you've kissed, our son 10 times, but you've only kissed me twice today. And it's like, maybe you don't deserve more than 2.
What kind of relationship does your husband have with your kids?
He's a good father, like he cares about them, but he's not the father that like does things with them or wants to be with them all the time. He's loving with them and he provides for them, but that's about it. He's not the one to go to a baseball game or go to a park and play, and he just sees them at home and he's loving towards them, but that's to the extent of it. He won't give up anything for himself because of the kids.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, your husband doesn't have like personal one-on-one time, or does not make time for the kids because he's so busy with his own schedule. Am I hearing that correctly?
Correct, yes. One-on-one to the kids and with me, with the family, He's okay. Maybe that's a way he's found to, rebel against me or the kids. Like, he wants more time with me. He wants to do things with me, not with the kids. Like, he wants me to leave the kids with my mom and me, be on him, go out. Or like, our vacations. Like, we have 2 different vacations in a year, 2 times a year. One with the kids and one without the kids. So the one without the kids, he's happy. He's a happy man. We connect again. We're like a couple without kids. But the vacation with the kids, he doesn't go. I go with my mom. It's my mom, the kids, and me. And he stays. So it's another single vacation for him because he stays without anybody in the house. It's whatever he wants. And I don't think it's fair. I don't have that kind of options. Why should he?
So have you thought about what life would look like without him in the picture?
Oh yes, of course.
Tell me more about that.
Well, with the joint custody or whatever, the kids will go with him every other weekend. When I have my come straight from work, you know, like I could, just as simple as reading a book, just laying there reading a book without anybody depending on you or calling you, hey, is the food ready? Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, so-and-so here, so-and-so, you know, it's just, you know, just a peace of mind. Go to the beach, get some suntan, just have some me time. Go to the spa. Oh, I need a spa. I need a spa day.
So you want more you time?
I need it. I don't want it, I need it. I think it's important to be happy with yourself, you know, to have time for yourself.
Sure.
Where you nurture yourself and you pamper yourself, not only physically, but mentally, spiritually, in all aspects of life.
And you don't feel that you have that connection with yourself, being that you're in a relationship with your husband right now?
Yeah, because it's always about him. He drains me. I mean, I feel drained between him and the kids.
And what about the kids?
Oh, they're happy. They don't feel, they don't miss when he's not around because they're not used to him being around. And I think, like you said, you know, have you seen yourself without him? I think if it's not part of our daily lives, you know, that every other weekend that he would have the kids, he would actually do things with them because I'm not there to do things with the kids.
Right.
So he's gonna be forced to spend the time and do things with the kids because right now he just relies on me to do it and I do them, so he doesn't have to. But when he's gonna be with them every other weekend, then he's gonna have to step up and do it. So I think it's gonna be better for their relationship as well.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, it sounds like you're saying that with this separation between you and your husband, that this actually might create a better relationship with him and his kids.
Yes, so I'm gonna help him out. And I feel like our relationship has just died. So there's nothing there, so that's.
So it won't bother you as much. It's actually, you're looking forward to spending more time with yourself.
Yes, definitely.
What would you like to do when you have that time for yourself? Are you planning on going back to school? Are you planning on taking a trip? What is it? Do you have a goal that you'd like to set for yourself? I mean,
Yeah, I could go back to school. And, you know, the vacations that I mentioned before,
yeah,
one with the family and one with him.
yeah.
Then it'd be one with my kids and one by me by myself. Yes, with my friends. Or me by myself.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm content with myself. I would love to go on a cruise and just be in the Caribbean and eat and sleep and just be in the pool and drink. I mean, you know, not just
Sure, sure. Sounds like a lot of fun though.
by myself. Nobody else. Can you imagine? That would be heaven. So I'm looking forward to that. So I think I don't have any dilemma anymore. I gotta figure it out. No, it's hard.